Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D 4X today. I'm starting a little late. I was just sitting here sipping my coffee, and it dawned on me how late it was. Everything was all set up. At least I think everything is all set up. Let me click these buttons over here. Auto select 2D 4X is a strategy game that I am working on. It says that there's no stream on YouTube. Is that true? Is YouTube messed up? Let's see. Click this button. It will tell me. It's supposed to start both. Yesterday it did. Oh, there we go. It just took an eternity. YouTube's weird like that. Sometimes it does. It takes an eternity to connect. Actually, YouTube, the whole streaming thing is very strange. It's like, I was wondering this morning, like, why they don't put more effort into YouTube's live stuff. Like, it's hard to find what, the streams that you're looking for, etc., etc. Anyways, this is 2D4X, a strategy game inspired by Paradox Games. If you've never seen me stream before, I've streamed 100 million times, I feel like, at this point. Give myself an upvote, I guess. That wasn't the plan, but there we go. We are working on, so when you declare war on somebody, we're going to have it immediately have them start spawning and recruiting troops. And it depends on the money that they have, not money currently, it's influence, and we're going to have a whole economy thing that we set up, kind of like Victoria 3, which was not the original plan. I always think it's funny that I had never played Victoria 3 when I first started this, and then I played Victoria 3, and I was like, wow, this is very similar to my idea. It's like one of those parallel inventions. Obviously, I never played Victoria 2 either. Otherwise, that would be a an inspiration. We got a bunch of bugs from yesterday because I didn't finish doing what we were doing. I'm actually kind of burned out on streaming altogether. It happens. So what we're doing here, I was looking through this a little bit. I don't know if we want return, actually, because we're in a 4 each, aren't we? Yeah, so we're in a 4 each right here. We're going through every hero, and it adds them all together. Oh, wait, no, we do want to return, because if it's just, yeah. 4, yeah, so if we get to the first one, wait, return, I gotta look these up every single time. I don't know what the deal is. C#, return, break, go to. The closest and closing, or switch statement, the break transfers control the statement that followed the terminated. 4 each. Break. I think it's break. What does return do? The return statement terminates execution of the function in which it appears and returns control and the function's results, if any, to. With that expression as following example. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT. I gotta get my brain warmed up, and we're not there yet. I'll just continue on, and we'll ask in a second, because it might have a better way. Sometimes ChatGPT does give some good examples of better ways to do things, since other times it doesn't. So what the fuck are we doing here? If there's no popular, so this is it. Okay, so we first go through here, and if there is if the possible defender count is greater than 0, it does this, else it goes down to here, and if there is no population there, it gets the fuck out. If there is, it's going to sort it by highest population, it's going to convert it to an aid. So now we have a hero. Maybe we don't. Maybe we can do this better. Maybe we put this. Where's this possible defenders thing? It's up here. Is it inside this thing? No, it's outside this thing. So what if we do this? Possible defenders. Yeah, then we add this person in. They're not going to have a... They're not going to be here. We could put this... we could put... this thing... I'm thinking here. I'm thinking. I'm just staring blank-faced at this. Should I be testing stuff? I don't know. My chat. Yeah. So this is what we should do. So we should have... so we go through this list for all the heroes, for each hero, and we add them to the possible defenders list. And if if they have a high enough loyalty, which I think it's really low right now in this globals thing just for testing, then they're added to the possible defenders. If they're then if there's enough in here, it does this thing. But what I was thinking, and then if there's not enough, we do this. But what we can do instead, you know, we can do if possible defenders count is less than 1. Somebody said in a YouTube chat, you're not supposed to do equals 0. And so now I don't do it anymore. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. And if this count is greater than 0, greater, wait, what? Wait, no, I'm in the wrong spot. I'm in the wrong spot. I was like, I thought I just did this. Cut. Put a space here. Okay, so if the defender count is less than, so it's 0, and the population count is greater than 0, then we do this part. This part. So we add this here. So this is if, so we have like a couple of, well, maybe there's a better way to do this, but once again, we'll figure that out after we get the basics done here. So we have the list of possible defenders. It's going to go through all the heroes. If they have a high enough loyalty, it's going to add them. If their loyalty is too low, oh, we're still in the heroes though. Now that doesn't matter. It's going to do this every time. It's going to for each every time. Okay, so we need this to be an end. It needs the end, and we have the possible defenders. So then with this for each, it will go through and it will possibly add some defenders that are already heroes. And then it's going to sort. And then if there's, so like let's say nobody is put on that list, so there'd be 0, but there is population in that county, then it's going to pull the highest population. I wonder if we can say highest population pull the highest population that's over, I'm going to ask ChatGPT this, that's over this loyalty adjusted thing. I think that might be a good idea here. ChatGPT, because I was just thinking while I was doing that, like what happens if everyone has low loyalty? In this, statement. Uh, can we add that the highest person's loyalty must be above global's instance? What is this thing called? Loyalty check number. So yes, you can extend your statement to only return the highest loyalty if the loyalty is above. Since you're already using order descending first, the cleanest way is that a where clause. I don't know why it always throws me off when there's normal words in programming. I feel like it didn't used to be that way. Where did it add this where thing? Where P is greater than this. This way, if no population has loyalty adjusted greater than highest population will be null. If one or more meet the threshold, you'll get the highest one. Perfect. No, this is the one we want. So let's put this then in here. So that you have a high population person, they're going to take up the defense. And at the beginning, we're already checking that they have enough money to hire someone, I think. Yeah, so they have to be, and we're only hiring one person, so why are you underlined? Check for expression null. Are we going to put a question mark there? No? Why no question mark? If it's not equal to null, convert it and then add it. All right, that's perfect. Then if we get the possible defenders is greater than 0, because at this point up here, there may be more people. There may be 2. So if it's greater than 0, we take the highest cool and rifle skill. I wonder why we're doing that. They're above that loyalty threshold already. I understand the logic. I'm wondering if we should just put them the highest loyalty. And then if the possible, because they could have been spawned already, if their hero token is null, we spawn them. And then we get the fuck out of here. What is this? This is population count is equal to 0 if location return. I don't remember why that's there. Okay, we have one more thing we want to do. We also want to set their max whatchamacallit. Right here. We want to set this because they have to spawn, and then we want to go possible defenders 0 dot max, what is it, subordinates, hero number of subordinates wanted equals how do we have this number? What number? There's a max amount they can get that we store somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. Everything looks very small today. Subordinates wanted, is that might be the number. This is the max number that number of subordinates that a hero can have. Okay, so that's fine and all, but how do we how are we getting this number? Because I know when we run it, the player, it shows in the thing. Let's look at that. It shows in the hero panel thing, not the inventory. Subordinates, it shows in here. in this spin box. What is this? Number of subordinates value changed. Okay. Let's look at this code and see where we're max subordinates label. We're setting it there, but there's a max that they can get. Update max subordinates. Recruiter, get max number of recruits. What does this fucking thing do? Okay, so this adds all of their shit together. We don't have this stored anywhere. I wonder if we should just get it every time. I'm guessing we should just get it every time. Or maybe. Yeah, we'll just get it. Sometimes I wonder, what the fuck phone? My phone just like woke up and it often records me while I'm sitting here. So max number of recruits is going to be recruiter get max number of recruits, and then we pass in possible defender 0. I'm curious what the best practice for that is. Like, are you supposed to get the numbers every time, or are you supposed to set those numbers and we'll put that there. This was a note. Have the hero start recruiting max subordinates and best equipment possible. Should we do that? Let's put a note in our thing. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's put a note in our project, wherever the fuck that is. And we will, that's going to be under war. I might have already put a note in that project. Add have the heroes equip their subordinates on spawn when with equipment depending on their personality when they start spawning. Start defending. Hopefully that makes sense to me later. That is a problem that I've had in the past where it does not make sense to me later. Let's put this up at the top. We need to go through these at some point and rearrange them by what we're doing the next round, but whatever. Okay, so then we have this, once again, I feel like this return, this is at the bottom, so we don't even need this return because we're out of the for loop, for the for each loop. Yeah. We're going to have to test the shit out of this. All right, so what are we doing down here? This can go. This is just all trash. We're returning a bunch of null, it looks like. And I think KD, like we're short a, we aren't? Where's the, oh. I should have deleted that one. What is this thing? Declare war confirmation? Do we not have a declaration of war confirmation? I think we do. Let's actually run it from over here. See what happens. So we changed it yesterday to when you actually declare war, now this should happen. Yeah, we have a declaration of war. That's the wrong guy. Okay, so it should have spawned a bunch of people. Oh, it did. I was about to say there's a bug, but no, they're here. We need to fix this tooltip too. But let's click on each. So we got Kathleen, we got Beverly, and we got Walter. That seems right. We should have Crystal. How's it going? We should have one of each. Once again, I'm always suspicious when the code works the first try. But this seems to be working. I can't look at these people because they're not mine. So we could save the game. Let's run the game for a second and see if we get any errors. Let's save the game and see if we get any errors. No. Then let's open the save and look at their save data and see if they have people. All county data lists. Where would we find this? I think this would be, do we have the word subordinates? Number of subordinates, 0. How many, wait, didn't it used to show lines on this? Oh, this is opening in Notepad is the problem. We gotta fix that. We're going down, but we're going through every single person, so this is probably not. What did we call it? Hero subordinates? Let's open this in the right thing, first off. Always. I was like, what is going on there? I think it's hero subordinates. Yeah. And we have 90 of those? Guess we can click 90 times, or we could narrow it down. Don't we know these people's names? What is your name? Kathleen? Did I let enough time pass? Yeah, we're on day 5. Kathleen. Anthony Cook. Kathleen. Come on, fingers. What was her last name? Nelson. Okay, here's Kathleen Nelson. I wonder if we have it so that they only look at all this shit. Yeah, I need to go back up to here. Where are you, Kathleen? Hero subordinates. So it actually worked. And they're going to want to get 11 people. So they already 5 people. So they got like 1 person a day, which is, did we start on, I think we started on day 1 though. That seems like too many. What about this person? Beverly Hayes. Beverly Hayes. You have 0 subordinates. Number of subordinates wanted is 0. You're an aide. That's correct. This seems wrong, but they could have something. They could be a terrible person. A terrible leader. It's possible. It's possible. Days until service starts, -1. They want some remnants, huh? We need to check their, like, charisma's 28. It's possible that this person just sucks at, they got some bad rolls. Walter Cooper. Walter Cooper. There's many Walters. Here he is. And you have 0 again. What's your charisma? 24. It's possible. It's not impossible. But I feel like that's highly unlikely. We'll let it run for a couple of days here. Actually, what does it say over? Oh, it's not going to tell us. It did tell us. It shouldn't be telling us when the AI people are recruiting. I don't think we've ever actually had them recruit anyone at this point. But it looks to me Kathleen is going to town um, recruiting people, but these other people are not. So there's probably a bug. Yeah, and then she's probably maxed out now. Some people are learning some skills, which we're going to, I think, take that off. It's a lot of scavenging going on. All right, so I don't think this is working. Because we should have seen these other people. So what? How does this work? How does our recruiting work? So let's first look at how we're adding these people in. Back to what we just did, basically. That was under diplomacy. I guess we don't need this thing. I'm going to leave it there after all. I was going to delete it, but. So it spawned the people. Correctly. How does this thing work? So it gets an attribute bonus, a leadership bonus, a leader of people bonus. What are these people's leadership? Maybe they just have absolutely abysmal leadership. Oh, I can't look at them this way. We gotta go to their save. That makes life a lot easier. Who am I on here? Walter Cooper, he's one of them. What's your leadership skill? Man, we still have to change that to attractiveness. Your leadership is 30. So you would have been getting a 30 minus, I think, 10 or 20. They don't have leader of people, so they don't get that bonus. I'm wondering if we just got a bad start. Let's restart. Some bad stats on that roll. Because it's possible. We've had that happen before in other tests. This should get us new people. We want to declare war on 2. We close this. We have all of their people are here. Jack Green. Man, their names are boring. You have 2 people. So that's a bug. So their faction leader should be here. Oh, I wonder if their faction leader has too low of loyalty or something. So they spawned a new one. Because we don't have an else in there. If their loyalty is too low, we might have to write that. But where would they flee to? Let's look at this first. What is this person's name? There's a lot of moving parts. Adam Davis. Here's Adam Davis. What is your loyalty, Adam Davis? 34. What is our loyalty adjusted? Where's my globals? I don't have globals pinned because this is a new thing. It's probably easier to find up here. Pin tab. Loyalty number check is 50. Wow. Loyalty check number is 50. So he failed the loyalty check number. So the faction leader isn't loyal enough to lead troops. um, 50 seems a little high. So they hired a second person. So what we should do, so that maybe we need to take that out or adjust that number. Let's let some time run. No one has recruited anyone in 6 days because it would show up over here. A bunch of scavenging. So, I mean, it's possible that that's happening. I wonder if we have any recruiting stuff down here. Oh, people are getting equipped. Let's let this run for a second more and see. Yeah, nobody's recruited anyone that we're getting the notifications on that at least. And it's 30 days in. All right, let's save it again. Double check our work here. Judith Scott. Whoops, we're not in the right spot. Oh, we are. Judith. What? J-U-D. Is that not what I'm typing up there? Oh, I'm in globals. I thought I was on the save game. We are in the wrong spot. Judith Scott. Number of subordinates wanted is 0. I have a feeling there's a problem with my code. I guess that's always the case. I mean, it would be Jack. Let's look for Green. Here's Jack Green. He's got higher loyalty. Subordinates wanted. Where are you? 0. Yeah, there's something. They shouldn't all want 0. There's a chance. Like, they don't get Victor Diaz. Diaz. 0. Okay, so let's double check how we're doing that diplomacy thing. Is everyone get this? So for the faction leader, we're gonna, yeah, I wonder. The loyalty thing is interesting. I'm not sure we want to do that now. We'll leave it how it is for now, but so we spawn this token. And this is going per county. So it runs this whole thing for every county. If they were already spawned, this would be a problem. So let's put this down here. Everybody's should be. I think we're gonna have a there could be a time when this doesn't have where's our question mark goes here? No. Why can't we put a question mark there? Please use language version 14.0 or greater. What the fuck is that? C#, please use language version 14.0 or greater. You know, I think I didn't update. Well, it should have came over. My C# project should have already had from before. I'm using it right here. Yeah, I'm still like inside this thing. Possible defenders is right here. What does this say? You need to modify this is a recommend method for explicitly setting this language version. Open your right click on the blah blah blah. But what does it mean? Because we're using 8. Because that's what Godot supports. It's supported on Net 10 and newer versions. So we have 8. Alright, so that's not supported. So this works because we're not setting it. Okay, I understand now. So we're trying to set this and it doesn't work. So we could just do if population defender 0.0 is not equal to null, then we run this thing. Because it is possible that this could be null. Okay, so I don't think that's what's going on over here though. I think what's get max number of recruits. I think that their attributes are just so low, possibly. I mean, we would have to have run. Wow, look at these guys. It's loyal as fuck, and he's really happy. Charisma is 57, and then what about skills? Leadership is 20. So they would have been getting a bonus. So let's do the basic math on this guy. Where's our bonus thing? That's under the recruiter. So the charisma bonus attributes, charisma attribute level. I don't remember what this true false thing is. Oh, I like one of them's for ones. Yeah, negative no. So the tribute bonus for his charisma of 57 should probably be 0. They just don't get it. They don't get a bonus for 0. So 0, I guess I'll write that down. 0 for my. Then we're getting the leadership bonus for their leadership skill. Oh. Leader number, so leadership bonus of, they have a 20 in leadership. That's like a huge negative. Back to the recruiter. A 20 would be a negative 15, and a 57 was 0. So we'll do negative 15. And then back to this. They don't have a leader of people. So we take the charisma bonus plus the leadership bonus is the max number of recruits. So that is 0. I think this might not be a good number. Because 0 plus negative 15 plus 0 is negative 15, which is 0. So let's check one other person to do this test. I don't think this works. Jack Green here. Save game. Green. So your charisma is 35. 35 and 41. So they have a 35 and a 41. 35, 41. So we go back over to this attribute data. A 35 is going to give them a negative 5. A 41 is going to give them a 0. So once again, they're at 0. So what we're finding out is no one's going to be really hiring people. Maybe we need a base rate. of 10 or something. The problem with the base rate is, or maybe we should set a minimum. So everyone can hire a minimum of 2 people or something. Or 1 person. A minimum of 1. Let's do that. So let's do that. Yeah. So there's a minimum of 1. I'm gonna, instead of using a magic number, I'm gonna name what this shit is. A magic number. See, I learned that word, those words the other day, and now I just use them all the time. That was back when the pirate software thing was happening. I learned it from watching a code review of his code. Loyalty check number, will work loyalty, hero stacking offset. Wonder what that is. Will fight loyalty. Let's put in here. I think all these exports are going to go, by the way. I don't think we're going to be minimum number of subordinates equals 1. Is this where we want this? Because it is getting, this is a lot of numbers, a lot of variables right there. Okay, so back to this way we can change this without having to find it in the code. It still weirds me out that, like, so a lot of this stuff that on the, like, the back to the pirate software thing, a lot of this stuff and it's not because I'm brilliant or anything, but it's, you figure it out quick that you don't want to use like magic numbers because then you have to find the number in the code. Like, it's just part of, like, as you program, and it's strange that like the way he was doing certain stuff, it's like you immediately figure out, like, wow, this is a huge pain in the ass. There's got to be a better way to do this, and it's so weirded me out that that's a thing that, I don't know. Basically, that he has, like, it doesn't really matter, but he had a bunch of like okay, sorry, we got to declare war with 2, and they're all there. He had a huge, like, list of things that he had manually put in with all these magic numbers, and you figure in, like, so to adjust it would have been monumentally difficult. And I was like, it's like, man, day 2 of setting that up, you would have noticed. Let's run this for a second. Okay, so Douglas recruited somebody, and in Harney, Susan Brown. My eyes are fucking trash. Douglas is not their name. That's the county they're in. Catherine and Susan. All right, this is working. Janice may not. It's only day 2. Research Janice recruited somebody. All right, so this is working how we want it. Now we have to spawn this person and then have them attack into here. And this is where we're going to get bugs because we readjusted a bunch of this shit. They're still recruiting. They can't recruit when they're... Oh yeah, we were going to update that tooltip too. Okay, so the battle just doesn't happen. Every time I click this, it says top bar expendables has been updated, motherfucker. Okay. So I gotta update my music here that you guys can't hear because it is stopped. And so they're here, but they're not fighting. And it shows we can actually look at our own still. And we can look at the visitors. Probably want to rename this to something else. This is a hostile army. All right, so let's go back to token movement. I'm still like, this is when everything when things start working easily, I get very suspicious because okay, so we have our start movement physics. This guy if move is yeah. So we have start move, defender on the way. We'll look at check if retreating. That's not reach destination. So this is the one. If the destination's faction ID and the hero population faction ID match, check to see if the hero is in a friendly county. If the destination county data faction ID equals the hero's tokens population data. So what happened here is this did not match and it went to this else. Why are we checking if they're at war if they're going to their own faction? Okay, so this is from before. So if check to see if the hero is in a friendly county. So this is checking the destination faction ID equals this. If it equals this, we do not check this. Do we have a hero reached friendly county? Hero reached enemy, army attacking, army visiting, army reached visiting, neutral. We don't have a hero reached friendly enemy county. I wonder if I accidentally deleted it in a flurry of deletion. Okay, so this is, I think I fucked something up here. I wonder, actually, let's look on GitHub. I'm curious. Let's go to GitHub again. We want to go, so it would be in here, but we haven't fucked with it at this point. And then token movement is probably, who the fuck knows where token movement is? It's right here. Check for defenders, defender on the way, check if retreating, reach destination. Neutral, okay, so this one actually is, we'd already fucked with this. Neutral. Neutral's different. I did delete a bunch of shit the other day, so I'm wondering. What does this do? It reparents it to the Heroes H box. Heroes H box. Check for recruiting activity. Wait, hero visiting county. No, we're not visiting. Army or visiting county. If we go to a friendly one, let's go back farther. I think I can go back farther. I did delete some branches yesterday. After I stopped streaming, I just saw some. We're on war diplomacy right now. I think we can go back to, I don't actually know how to do it. Where you go back to pushes. Well, how far back would we need to go? Not issues. Pull request? No. How do you look back on Git? Look back to previous commits. Yeah. No, on GitHub. No, I don't want to revert. I just want to look at it. I don't want to revert. I just want to look at it. Let's go back and look at a previous commit, several methods. I don't want to do it in code. No, I don't want to do any of that shit. Maybe we can do it. Where did that go? Just click the commit history button in the page on the app, hit on commits. Click on commits. All right, let me go back to here. That's what I was looking. Oh, right here. Jesus Christ. It's like my brain stopped working. All right, here we go. Saving game now seems to be working 100%. Now we can go back to loading. That's to started converting all Godot resource files. Let's go before that because we want to go kind of old. Created a test county improvement. Created an option menu, fix numbers and readme. Did I ever fix that one number in the readme? Add events and double check equipment. It's probably back here. But this is only going to show, will this show all of this is only going to show the changes we did, that we committed. That's not going to help us. Because what we need to do is we need to find an old version of the token movement, and I don't know when I changed that. It would have been it would have been just in the middle of one of these other things. It would have I'm trying to think. When did we do that? We started fucking with that somewhat. Yeah, I'll never be able to find that. Can you? Oh, this has a token movement in it. Here we go. What does this do? We change. This might be it. Actually, we might have got lucky here. Start battle. Oh, it only shows the changes though. No, that doesn't help me. The commits don't help me. Because I need to see what it was before. I need like the branch, but I deleted the branches. This is around the time though. Army reached county is what it was called. What? Oh, here's something. Yeah, this is we needed the hero reached county. Actually, is the one we needed. No, can't go to it. All right, whatever. We'll just deal with it. We'll just write it again. So what we need to do is check to see if there's here in a friendly county. If it's in a friendly county, we don't need to check this shit at all. We don't need to see if they're at war. That's down. That's farther. So let's get rid of this crap. And if it is in a friendly, I wonder if I put neutral when yeah, it's going to be like this kind of. KD. There we go. Let's see what this neutral county thing says though. So we put it in, we reparent it. So neutral is actually, this is just named wrong. Heroes in county list, update recruiting activity. This is just named wrong. Friendly. That's what I get. Friendly. How do you spell friendly? It's one of those things where my brain suddenly only sees gibberish. Okay, so this was actually just named wrong. And that other thing was wrong too. So if this matches, they go to the friendly county. Let's test that, because I did just fuck with some shit. All we have to do is move a guy around a little bit. Oh, we don't need to start this every time either. All right, spawn you. Go to here. Very slowly. Click on here. Todd is there. Did it say something about their subordinates? Update recruiting activity. We didn't have any recruiting, but okay, so that's fine. That looks right. So man, we're actually taking out like a ton of code. A ton of shitty code. Hopefully it's shitty. You don't want to be taking good code out, right? All right, so if this check to save is in a friendly county, it is. It is not in a friendly. This needs to be changed to something like if the faction is at war with the current heroes faction. We already is at war. That's what we did. We already changed that. So then it's checking if this is true. I don't see. If this is true, it's army attacking. This is backwards. Is at war. If they're at war, and we're gonna rename this to hero attacking county. And we are gonna have that thing. Oh, did I say thanks, Crystal? Thank you, by the way, for the tip. Brain doesn't work half the time, and I don't know anything half the time. Update activity to combat. If the faction is at war, we do this. We probably need changes to the token occupation. So to what the token occupation does. I guess that's a fine note. So what does this do? Army visiting enemy county. This adds it to the visiting list, which we decided we are keeping the visiting army list. We're going to rename this to Hero Army Visiting. So it adds it to the visiting list. And then if the destinations county data heroes in county list dot county count is greater than 0, we get a new battle. So if there's somebody there, otherwise we capture the county. That makes sense. So then we start a new battle. All right. So then let's go back up. We're going to test all of this in a second. So then if we are visiting, we add them to the visiting hero list. So we're keeping 2 lists, army list and a hero list, which I think does make sense. So then what happens after that? The remove hero and subordinates from starting county. All right. Add hero. Okay. We update the top bar or the county info, right? That's because if you have it selected, you need it to update. Then we set their destination to -1. Makes sense. We update the token texture for some reason. Is retreating equals false? Probably because there's somewhere some retreating mechanic that we need to, and then we hide the hero token? Okay, let's test it. I have no idea. Oh, I'm going to take a break here in a second. Actually, I'm going to take a break right now. I'm taking a break right now, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. I'm going to move this. So this is my old setup from my other gaming computer, which is over here. And I got to rearrange the order of this shit. All right. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. And I just remembered I have to go into work tomorrow. Usually I work from home, and now tomorrow I just have to go in, crack at dawn, have to prepare my whole life. What are we testing here? We're testing when we go to war. So let's go to war. And then we don't need to recruit anybody just yet. Well, because of that, I don't even think we wrote that code yet, the subordinate code. Take your fucking time there. All right. We have a cheat where we always win. Somebody is getting a skill check when it shouldn't. That's interesting. Okay, so you move along here. We got a problem. Oh no, this guy, he's still here. We're gonna have to put him in like a temporary list. All right, so that actually worked. We didn't get any bugs. We did capture this county, so everything worked there. Once again, I'm very suspicious. Let's go to ×8. Let's move to here. Oh, now we got some bugs. It was like, what the fuck is that? Some sort of personality problem. More personality problems. More personality. So 3 personality problems, eh? I wonder if they didn't get a personality. I bet you they didn't get a personality. It's saying that their object is not... Yeah, so they probably didn't get a personality. This happened before, actually. 0 + 1 usage. So what's happening, probably the DTO is probably not converting back from the save game, right? So they don't have a personality. Though it should fire sooner. Let's think about this. This only happened when we got over here. Now we're also going to have to deal with, what about... Okay, we're going to need to put a note for this. Where's my project? What about when there are multiple armies in the same county? Does the hero fight each one in succession or succession? That's not right. Or do they group up? They probably should group up. They probably should group up. Commit. Sorry, not commit. Commit on the brain. Move to top. We need to go through that list too. So we'll come back to that error or that issue in a minute. So the faction dictator, faction AI. Let's copy that. Let's copy this error. They should really have it so right click does not fire that. Make this bigger. Equipment assignment happens at a certain time every day, so I'm surprised that that didn't happen earlier. You know how we can test this actually is we can click this button over here. No, that won't apply. Did those 3 happen all at once? Need this again. Faction 8, decide if hero uses equipment. Let's look at their save. Can I save this here with bugs? Looks like it. So what are these people's names? Oh, I ran it again. Damn it. I guess we'll do the same thing again here. Declare war. They don't have any subordinates, I don't think. Depends how long it takes for him to get here. They would have, so this person got 1 subordinate. I'm wondering now if maybe the subordinates don't have personalities. That's quite possible. But it shouldn't matter. It should be the hero that matters with what they equip. The hero's personality should be the one picking their thing. So we captured that. I'm gonna let this guy get over there. We'll speed this up to 4. Now, does it fire now? It does. So it's when he gets to a new spot. And it's only one of them. So it seems to be something when they reach destination. This is like a retreating thing. Let's save this. And then let's see if he has a personality. What is your name, dude? Could be either Karen or Cheryl. Karen? Whoa, wrong button. Karen? Was it Walker? It was. You have a subordinate. Personality is offensive. That actually doesn't show, though, if they actually have their I personality assigned correctly. I'm wondering if it's the heroes. Why would it be once they move, though? So let's look at the token movement. Are we making a copy or clearing or something? We shouldn't be fucking with their personality at all. Defender on the way. No, defender on the way doesn't matter anymore, I don't think. Check for defenders. We might actually need that. I was going to delete it. Start movements. What do we do here? Fire subordinates if they aren't fully. Yeah, we remove from research. We update their current county, update their activity. We set their target, and then we check if they are retreating. Okay, we end the battle. This should just be called county now. Actually, it was there. And let me check something. So that well, what does in battle do? Removes the battles and unsubscribes, and it sets it all to false, and it hides their little thing. This confusing battle thing still works, so we're gonna leave that there. Though this is gonna have to get moved around, some of the things in there. So we ran into this before where this thing was having the I population was having, or the I personality was having an issue, but it turns out it wasn't this, it was like something before it. We could set a breakpoint. We cannot set a breakpoint here. We can set a breakpoint wherever the usage is. Where was that? Decide if hero uses newest equipment under the faction AI. The faction AI is pretty dated. Pretty dated. Decide if hero uses newest equipment. So we pass in. We're passing in. Decide if hero uses newest equipment. We're passing in the faction data. We go through all the heroes. And then we return. We can put a thing here. I think this is probably where it's going wrong. And then we'll run this. It's kind of a pain to test. That's how as we go on and on, it will be more of a pain to test. We gotta fix that research there. Man, even on this like much better computer, the build is not that much quicker. I'm kind of surprised by that. So they declared we can go to here. We got to defeat them in combat. We got this because the time passed, but we don't get an error. Whoa, we don't get an error here. Console yet, so we can go to the next one. It's good. We're gonna have like 10,000 of these. Can you hit this and skip through it? No. We'll just keep hitting this until... Yeah, it's going to do... Oh, wait. This was an old... we have a couple of these old testing here. We're going to win this war. We're going to have to... Oh. So there is an I personality. This person has a defensive personality. It's going through every hero that's just standing around. And we haven't gotten our error yet. We should get an error in the morning of here. Now. So this person has a defensive personality. Defensive personality. Oh, maybe it's like an offensive personality. Oh, and here's our error. I personality data is null. But it didn't say that. This one, and this is on the defensive personality, so it's not personality related. It's something about how we're passing this through. The faction AI, where'd you go? The name faction data does not exist in this context. Is it because we went past this? Decide if hero uses newest equipment. Get child for the county. I guess we gotta do this again. One more time. We don't need to, we could have ran it from the other thing again. Declare war. Something else happened. It ground for a long time and then it suddenly got to here. Possible defenders count as 0. That's the one problem, is you can't look at this. Okay, so we actually, we got an error because something else happened here. This is a different... Oh, I know what we need to do here. Stop. If possible defenders count is greater than 0. Is greater than 0 is what we need here. Not null. Then do this. Otherwise, it's not supposed to do anything. So that was good that we got that for whatever. Their loyalties or whatever didn't work out. There was no one would fight that war, so we do want that because then you can just roll in there unopposed. Because the loyalty is going to be like a huge thing in this to a point. at the beginning, especially because you got to remember this is the people at this point in the game, which is the beginning. This is like a kind of anarchist society of. I'm just gonna hover over this every time. Anarchist society of just survivors that are just kind of like living together. Uh, and you gotta. That's one of the things you would want to change. Not you don't have to, but you probably want to change in the future as you play the game. All right, so this guy's retreating. Defensive personality. Defensive personality. Defensive person. Why is everybody a defensive personality? Why aren't we getting any offensive people? It seems to be that we get them all. I think there's something wrong there. Then we should get our air here when this gets to the time. Defensive personality. Defensive personality. But it had a defensive personality, so why does this have nothing? The population data is 0, or is nothing, is null. So there's another issue, I think. I think we have something that's like assigning, it does like a 50-50 chance, and then it just assigns everyone that, and it's supposed to do it for each one. We'll put this over here. It seems like everyone gets the same personality. So if the first person gets a defensive personality, everyone gets a defensive personality. Okay, let's send that to the top. Fuck you. Move to the top. So why are you sending through nothing? Where's my faction AI? Wish I could save it right now. So what are we passing through? Return. We need the population list and the population ID. Return population data from population ID. Is that how this works? Population list. So we're passing in, but it says at this point, well, we're past. This is gone at this point. The All Heroes Dictionary is, I bet you this is backwards. Let's double check. This is in faction data. I had to put a note on this because it's confusing as fuck. I would like to somehow improve this dictionary. So it's hero ID is the key, the hero location. I wonder if the hero location isn't getting updated. It showed somebody there, though. They had a personality assigned, so that means there was a person there, and then when it goes to the next part, wait. Wait here. So for the defensive guy, It's using the faction leader. Side up here, yeah. So it should be using the faction leader's equipment. Yeah, because the faction leader picks if he's defensive or offensive. So this is right. So it's using the faction data. Faction leader and then it's passing in this person's. It uses the faction leader's personality to determine what equipment the heroes get. Return. So what is this thing? Do I have the right thing in here? The population ID. This is the child is the place that they're at. So the value is let's double check. I know I just looked, but one more time here. Hero ID and the hero location. The location, the ID, heroes and county list. I wonder if we're not, when we convert, or if he's being put in the wrong list. I'm trying to think of how we would determine, how we could figure out, because he wouldn't be in this list. But it said that there was because we're looking at the faction leader's personality. So that's all. Okay. All right. I was looking at the wrong thing. So I was hovering over iPersonality thinking that we were checking each person's personality, but we're actually always checking and that's why it always says defensive, is because we're rolling. Oh, we got to declare war. Okay. That was not doing what I was thinking. Over to here. Skip through this. So this is what I should have been hovering over. And that was what we'll figure out. One of these things is off. We got a resource in here. We got a resource. It shouldn't happen yet, but we're going to win this war. Like I said, we have a cheat where we always win the wars. Okay, you're good to go. We hit the time where this checks for this, so. And now we should hit the real issue here. Okay, so this guy's okay. All right, here's our problem. So this is returning null here. So the key pair for this faction, we passed in a faction data, which we know this works earlier, so most likely. So we have 1-1. One is we have two of these running. 0-1. So it thinks he's in here. Because we never updated the dictionary? Is that what's happening? Do we never update this dictionary when I feel like that's going to be a bummer. I think that's the problem. Is we never update the All Heroes dictionary when they move. That's going to be a huge pain in the ass to have to update that all the time. It does need to be updated all the time. So yeah, it thinks he's in the other county when he's not. So that when it looks at this thing and it returns null. So whenever anyone moves, we need to update the all heroes. We can test that by run this. But why didn't it happen the first? Because he was still in his own place. Spawn you and have you go to here. Go fast over there. Okay, so the reason why it doesn't happen to the players, it probably works with the players. It has something to do. One of the two, no, it was 1-1, so he was in the wrong. So let's look at token movement, I guess. So that guy was retreating. Is retreating. Retreating is a different thing because we need to, they get to choose, well, it randomly picks which one. End battle. So check if retreating. Check to see if the starting county has battles, and if it does, it should end the battle because the token is retreating. That isn't. So I think it's working when the player's moving stuff around, but when the AI is moving stuff around, it does not. Defender on the way. Yeah, we're gonna have to update this. I wonder if we should put like a getter setter in where it updates itself. Whenever the location changes, we update the heroes in the hero ID is unique. That's why it's the key. So we could do that. Let's see. Let's think about this. Let's go to our population data. If we go to location and we make this a getter setter, we're going to do this though. We're going to change this to capital L. And then we're going to change this back to a lowercase l. And then we're going to go public. Oh, we're going to make this private. We're going to get a bunch of errors. And then we're going to go public int location. Sure, we can do that. I like them when they look different though. And then on set, we're going to if I haven't done a getter setter for, oh my god, here's another one of these things. I think they reset every time I open it. I think that's what happens, is they move back up to there. I haven't done a getter setter in a long time, I was just about to say. So set, we can do, we go set, get this shit out of here. Location equals value, why are you underlined? Oh, it wants me to do it differently. And then we would say if hero is true, then we gotta re-add this hero, this location to the hero. Do we have a faction? You motherfucker. It's not that big of a deal, but faction data equals faction ID, and then we go faction data, all heroes dictionary. So if you add, I don't think there is a hero ID, it's just our population ID. I'm pretty sure it's the population ID, and then we go This is also an int, and it is going to be the location. Okay, so if you add, I'm pretty sure it just updates it, but I'm going to double check here. If you add to a dictionary that already has the entry, does it just update it? Oh no, it'll throw an error. Oh, we just do this. What if it's not there? Okay, it adds a new entry if it, all right. So every time the location changes now, it should update this dictionary automatically. And now we just have to hope that that dictionary is updated or that location is set right. The other theory is that the location isn't getting set correctly, but we do need to update that anyway. So, and who knows if we already were. So we're declaring war. We're spawning our guy. We are moving into here. We're gonna go up 8 speed. We'll fight this battle. He's going to there. Now we have to see if we get this. Okay, we no longer got, so that was the problem. Man, getter setters are cool when they work. And what I mean is so once again, a weird Godot thing is if you set a variable through here, it fires the getter setter when you run the game. So when you hit play, it fires, if you set it in the inspector, it fires the getter setter, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, except sometimes that causes things to happen before, because of this, they get fired before a bunch of shit happens. So we solved that problem. And actually, I think the way we just did it makes our lives a lot easier too. I still think that see how these people are all getting. I wonder personality. We're looking for a GD print with personality because I'm wondering if this is reporting the wrong shit. Defensive. Here it is. Where is this? I personality. No. So these people are all getting. Where is it firing that? Oh. Oh, this doesn't work. Fuck. Can I put? Oh wait. But we're firing. See, this is firing. This is saying their first name, but it's the defensive personality that we're running, which is yeah. This doesn't work. Let's get rid of that other one. It's so we're running this from the faction leader, so that's why that always looks like that. Let's just double check our. I wonder if we have any other GD prints in here. Personality, person. That's why that looks like that. But let's double check our population generation and make sure that they are getting the correct shit. You know, it wasn't that hard to move everything around. I thought it was going to be a total nightmare when we moved them to the different scenes. Yeah, so it's going to be under generate population. How are we giving them their personalities? This will be used for loading from disk as well. That's a different thing. We need to go back to... Can we close some of this crap? New personality. That's... New personality. Generate personalities. Int random. Do while. So it goes. What the fuck does this is seem? Why do we have a while? Yeah, no shit. Chat GPT wrote that. The fuck does this do? What does this do? What does this do, and why does it look like this? Seems like there'd be a lot easier way to get a random thing. This method is a random enum picker with a safety check to skip a specific value. Let's break it down. And here's a do while loop. Random personality while calls your random enum helper, which returns a random value. Cast it to an int. If the result is 0, it repeats. So get random enum value. What does this do? All right, we're just going to assume it works. I think we looked at this before and it worked. I'm pretty positive we did. So let's close this thing. Get that shit out of here. All right, so we're winning. We win the wars. They move. Let's continue. Can we keep going with this one? Okay, so we got to figure out what happens when there's two, because before there was never two heroes defending. So let's move. Oh, look, they have different icons. Oh, no, they don't. It just looked like they did when they were zoomed out. Let's move you to here. Now, I wonder who we're fighting. There is a thing you can click on. Oh, and it still works. It is this battle log. Maybe this happened that fast. We do have it on like a, well, 0 speed right now. What is this plus? Plus. I think we got a typo or something in here. Well, that's very useless. So we win there. This guy's running for it. He's done there, but then we never deal with this other person. Oh, look, we can't look at our hero either. Let's update this tooltip. So this tooltip should show the person's name. Yeah, so there's multiple problems. Let's fix this tooltip. Where the fuck was that tooltip? It was under, I don't remember. Token or something. I remember I saw update tooltip spawn token button. This was like commented. Yeah, this was commented out. Update their textures. Move this somewhere else, but may need to put it back here. Moved this somewhere else, but may need to put it back here. Let's see what that does. Because if it's gonna be easier to debug all this shit if we can tell who we're This is tooltip. Oh, we got a bug. Tooltip text. What? What is this thing? This is a button. Do we have to put this? No, it knows what it is. Why didn't it like this? So these are on the act. So there's two different things going on here. This is the actual. This button is supposed to have a tooltip. That's this. But it got an error, huh? Maybe that's why it was commented out. What was the error? What was I saying yesterday? This is like the most common error that I get. Object not set to a reference. The token spawner. Update tooltip. Update tooltip. Oh, we have what? Twice? Update their textures. So there's a button, and then there's also, oh, on button up. Okay. Wonder why I did that. Population data is up here. Where does this get assigned? Where is this population data getting? Because I'm betting there's no population data there at that point. Hero token. Check if player faction. There's not much here. What is assigning this? Probably when it gets instantiated. So what do these all say? Update, update, update. They do have things here. So that means that there's something here. Update button icon. On button up. What if we put this in here? Because it's getting the and we know that this exists here. So we're updating the texture. Man, we do not need to be running it from here every time. That was actually quick. We still got this error though. Run it. Debug it. Breakpoint it. Wait, didn't that happen before, like immediately? We got two things open here. Object not set to an instance. The hero token is the problem. Stop and rerun. Well, I guess we could have done it without the debug thing. We're actually making some progress. I am gonna have to like hire whatchamacallit, an artist at some point. Okay, so we can continue on here. All right, Denise Gonzalez. So that's fixed there. I would like to actually, man, I should have watched that tutorial on Joker did, because I would like to actually have this with a little bit better information. Let's go back here. I want to have this. Can we like do new lines and shit on a tooltip? I'm sure we can. He had like a whole little panel. Godot tool tip. I would like the documentation. Documentation. Not the AI thing. Not that. Not what? I just want the actual Godot documentation. I don't want a style guide. Yeah, this is a style guide. Where's your actual, let's say, button? Can we search these? This may be an old version. I would like this for the current version. I don't want to be on 3.3. I would like to go to the stable. I guess I'm actually on the latest. Tool tip. Um, Resource tooltip plugins are used by a file to generate custom tooltips for specific resource tooltips, display a bigger preview on the texture's dimension. I don't want a fucking plugin. I would like just the basic tooltip thing. I guess if we look at base button, maybe we'll have something about tooltips in here. Tool tip. Where's that Joker guy? All right, this is all dog shit. What if we do? I don't know. I think you have to put. I actually don't even. I've never tried to put a new line in anything. It just dawned on me in the middle. I don't think you can do it with this. This is just gonna put the slash in. I guess we could put quotes like that and with the pluses, but I think there's another way to do this. How do I C sharp new line text to a string. I do not want that. Godot. Yeah, I don't think I've ever, I mean, I'm using the rich text thing. Will that just work? It doesn't have, it's not the right color. Usually I think it's, oh, there it is. Maybe I had the wrong slash. That's probably what it was. Let's stop this and run this over here. I'm more used to the Godot errors and stuff, like where they show up down here. Spawn. Alice Kelly. Okay, so that works. So we can slam in some extra stuff here. So what I was thinking is we put a string, hero name equals this, actually this whole thing. And then we say string hero number of subordinates, and that's going to equal $sign subordinates hero. We need a population data actually. Not number. We could do that actually. We could do that. We could do this. And then we could also copy this thing, put this here. We have two of these somehow. And then we would go spacebar dot hero subordinates dot count. And we'll put a space and a slash, and we'll do this, and then we'll do quote? No, I think oh, is this not going to work? No, we'll have to do it like this. Squigs, hero name. That's actually what we want. That's what we want right there. It knew. Okay, then we're gonna run this again, and I'm gonna take a break in a second here. Hit start. We want to have the number of subordinates on this. 0 of 0. Actually, I was thinking that's wrong, but actually it isn't wrong. If we put this up to like 5, which is his max, it hasn't updated. Because this is generated once. So we need to put this in some other place. You know, we have these things. This stop click through. What if we do this? We cut this and we put this on mouse enter. And it, what's your problem? Oh, you're static. Do you need to be static? There's a signal that's connected here is why this is. It says there's no problems. Let's run this again. And my music has stopped, which is probably a good sign for me to take a break. But let's see if this works in what I'm thinking here. On mouse entered, oh, it's kind of slow. Oh, look how it's shifted to the right as well. Not something I'm going to worry about right now. So we have it on 4 there. Let's let him, yeah, you recruited somebody. Yeah, that's good. That's what we want. I'll leave this. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me put on my break timer, and I'll leave this I'll leave it hovering there. Whoops. Okay, it's very. You got to be right on there. All right, I'll be right back. All right, back. So I got a minute left on my timer. All right, what the fuck are we doing? We fixed the tooltip for that part, but I think we got to fix it when they're moving too, because they're actually a different thing at that point. We have nothing there. Hopefully we can use the same tooltip code. I don't think that should be a problem. No, it's going to be a problem. We'll have to move it somewhere else. So that button is special. It's not a button anymore. It's like a sprite. I think we do have an on mouse enter type thing. Where is that thing? That is, what is that called? That's Portland. We have a spot. Edward is a hero token script. I think it's probably called hero token scene 2 or prefab. I had some weird, because I came from Unity, I switched over. I used to call them like prefabs. I think I might, maybe I moved it. Hero, excuse me, token. Yes, it's this scene. And that's where token movement is too, and it's a 2D node. Okay. We got all these things. Is retreating, is selected. Do we have a mouse thing? On mouse enter. Oh, spawn token button. Oh, look, we had morale and stuff. It doesn't work. Spawn token button. Because that's the wrong... We had morale. I did use new lines. Look. Let's put this back here. But why would I update the spawn token button? And it didn't work because I'm updating it again. Spawn token button. Why wouldn't I just update the tooltip for this thing? Can I? No. Is there tooltips somewhere on here? Tool, not on there. What about on like the sprite? Nope. There is on this control, huh? What is this token control? This has the name. Is there a fucking name on here? Yeah, there is. So that sucks. How big is this thing? Oh wow, that control is huge. We could update that. Do we know what that control is? We don't. It was below this. I have a feeling this is going to be a problem, but private control, what was it called? Token name control or something? Just token control. Okay. And then we'll save this. We'll go back to here. We'll stop this. Build this. Okay, don't let me build that. We'll go down to here. And we'll go token control dot tooltip. And then we're going to fix that morale thing. We'll probably add the subordinates. And then they like the average morale or whatever. We'll do average morale maybe. I don't know. We'll put this right there. We can X out of that thing. And then we'll see after we run it. After we get what our current thing working, we'll see. We'll update what the actual tooltip is. We got a bug. Token control. What is this thing? Get child 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's our ready? Token movement hero token. Token control equals get child. What was it? 4. So we need 3. What's your problem? Oh, we have to cast it as a control. One, 2, 3, 4. We can get rid of this thing. I don't like extra exports if I can help it, because they are quite annoying. Look, that one's centered. It does take a minute. I wonder if that's fine. That's how tooltips work. Okay, so back to this. Where was this? We need to put this in a better spot, so we can have the same tooltip on both of them. But I do like this morale in there. Let's look where we can stick this. That's kind of like at the top. So we have 2 different things. I wonder if we should start like a, well, we could put it in globals, I suppose. It is a global. We could. We'll just stick it in I think that maybe we might eventually put like some sort of, oh, but it has to be a control? No. How would we do this? Maybe we just leave it how it is. We need to translate that as well, though. We can get rid of this thing. This doesn't need to be here. Or I guess we can just comment it out for now. No, I want this in the same place. So we'll have to pass in, how are we going to do this? Because we would have to, see, these are different. We can't pass in like a button or whatever. That's a control, and the other one's a button. We can just have a text thing somewhere in globals. And we'll just pass in we'll have the text. We'll like, return the text of whatever it is. Let's go to globals. Let's copy this actually. Let's go to globals. We'll do public static string update hero token and button no generate and button. Oh, but we don't know. Yes, we'll have to pass in a population data. Tooltip. And then we'll go down to here. Return. this thing. Let's make this one big giant fucking line here. And then we'll also put in, we'll do average morale, except we'll spell it right. And then we'll go get that other thing. Where was that? It was like token button something. This should be pinned, by the way. Where did you go, pin? And then we don't need this open. We don't need the recruiter right now. We might need that. Subordinates VBox. We don't need this. Hero panel control. I don't know. We need this thing. And then we will copy these things to here. And we will do this. Average morale, we're going to want to get string average morale. And right now we will put this over here. We need a $sign and a quote. We're gonna adjust this in a second. I just want to get some of this gibberish out of here. And we need this we already have. And then we're gonna return this return actually is gonna be return something else here. So we have the hero name, we have the subordinates, and then average morale will be at the end. So we'll go $, hero name in, whoops, we need we need some squigs in here. And then we need another squigs. And then we go hero number of subordinates. Yep, that's exactly what we want. And then we'll do this. But now we need to fix average morale. For average morale, we need to, this shit can go. For average morale, we're going to need to go through the hero. We're going to have a number. And then we're going to have to go through all the hero subordinates and add it. So up here, we can do this. My cord is fucking with me once again. And then we'll go for each population data in, population data, hero subordinates. Oh, are these just numbers now? It doesn't tell me. No, their population data is, it does tell me. What is your problem here? Oh, we already have, we'll call this subordinate data. And then we'll go average morale equal, oh no, we need a number. Or no, a number, an int morale. And then we'll say 0. I don't know why I always set it to 0. I don't know. Morale. And it's going to equal plus. Plus equals expendable? Is that what we do? I guess. And then after it goes through all those, we're going to add in morale plus equals population data dot morale expendable. And then we're going to go morale And except we're not going to do that. We're going to put this, we're going to do this differently. We're going to put this at the top. And then we're going to have, this thing is getting the name. This is going to get subordinates. We have to add that in, and so we can, we have to translate that. Average morale is going to be, why am I struggling here? $, question mark, average morale, and then we do squigs morale, and then we do average morale down here. I guess I should have deleted that. And this shit can go. And then let's open up the whatchamacallit. I don't have 2D4X pinned. And localization. My two computers have a different sensitivity on the scroll wheel. I need to adjust it so that they're so that they are the same, because it keeps throwing me off. So we need subordinates. Subordinate. I'm just seeing if we already have it. Number of subordinates. I think we'll just use the word. Here it is. And we'll go, get the fuck out of here. Over to here. And then we'll do the TR. Doesn't like that, though. What are we in? Why am I, oh my God, I was hoping, I was dreaming. TR, I suddenly can't remember how to translate shit. This happens to me all the time. Like I gotta use it like 60,000 times to have it actually stick in my brain. I remember when I couldn't remember ready, like it's because it's public. Oh, here's another one of these. Public override, all that. Here's another one. Once again, I don't know if they reset. Maybe it's TR out here. Half of my time is spent looking up shit because I can't remember it. It's a bummer. I want to see an example. It doesn't want... No, because this is inside this. Do I have to put it in here? Oh no, I gotta put it in as squigs. That's the problem. Once again, like I said, brain doesn't work very well sometimes. Come on, motherfucker. Okay, we got a problem though. We got 2 at the end here. Okay, so translate. What's your problem? Make it non-static. That's fine. So that one, and then we need to average morale. I don't think I have that in here. Yeah, so we're going to do a phrase. Average morale. Man, it's a huge bummer. I was thinking about this the other day, that this is Spain Spanish. I really wish it was, because then we're going to have to do a whole other thing, a whole other column for Latin America. And that's what I would prefer to do, because I know more people who speak Latin American Spanish than. So I'm going to have like somebody go through and, whoops, and do both. What's the population of Spain versus Spanish speaking Latin America? Yeah, exactly. Mexico alone has 130 million Spanish speakers. Spain has 50 million, 455. Yeah, exactly. There's the problem. We'll take this phrase, we'll copy that. We'll go over here. I have just retaught myself how to do this thing that I had forgotten. We go squigs, we go TR, we get rid of the, lowercase r. Get rid of this squigs. We go this, we go this, we go this, we go this, we go this. We get rid of this. And new line. Okay, so we got that. We got their name. We got that. We have their average morale. It's all added in there with the new lines. Let's see how this runs. And we'll do start. I mean, it is definitely faster than the old computer doing this, but it's not. We did not update this to use the other thing, though. And we need to close this. We need to go back to here. We need to X out of that thing. We need to re-import this. We need to hit save just because. We need to go over. We need to get this thing. Do that. Hero token. We're just going to go like this. Yep. What's your problem? Oh, I know what your problem is. Globals.instance. We'll copy this whole thing over here. And we have that on the hero token. So then we also need to put this here. And get rid of this crap. All right, let's see what we got going. Maybe. Oh, it's one of those times. For some reason, sometimes you gotta like reselect Godot itself, and that's what your first click does. All right, let's see what this thing. Spawn. William Rogers. I wonder why they're all right. Right align. Okay, let's put somebody. Let's try to do this. He's already on the move. So let's have him move some. Why is that still up? That was weird. It was like, I think it was because I had this hovering and then no. Then what about over here? Yeah, that's so much better. Yeah, we got to do the tooltips as it really slows shit down, but like I was saying, I was playing whatever, Victoria 3, and there's so many tooltips, and then also I was playing that spell IO spell thing, And I actually don't. I thought that game was going to be a lot worse than it was, but it definitely was not a game I wanted to play. I got it like with the Humble Bundle or something, and I played it a little bit. Um, oh wow, my chat doesn't go away after a while like it used to. That is something we probably want to change. I just have it like the chat on the right over. Oh, on this one too, you can't see my mouse. It's my mouse is behind that gray panel. But anyways, yeah, my chat used to fade out. I have to fix that after a certain amount of time, like 40 seconds or something. All right. So let's see what we're doing here. Oh yeah, we're back to the multiple armies issue. I might call it a day. That's a good stopping point. Let's think about this multiple armies thing, though. This is not going to be the end choice for multiple armies. Like this is our current workaround for how multiple armies work, and I think we probably should just have them all grouped. All grouped together and you got to defeat each one. We actually haven't put in subordinates. So let's do this. Let's put a comment on here. So currently the combat is just the two heroes duke it out, even if they don't have subordinates. So they actually don't do any damage to each other. They just do morale damage. The plan is not to rewrite combat right now. That's for later. What else do we got on here? Oh, this we aren't going to do. We're going to keep that. We might get rid of it later. I think diplomacy items should be events and every faction ships. Yeah, that's probably I don't remember exactly. Next round, only add nearby factions to the diplomatic thing. That's next round. Current war dictionary, just dictionary of bulls. This is no longer the case. Wait, it should be a dictionary of a public class so that it has the whole okay, this is no longer the case. How treats for shared. I think this is supposed to say treaties. Have treaties. Treaties. Is that how you spell treaties? It's actually a good idea. I wonder if that was a Lord Mac idea. He sometimes comes in chat. He's got some good ideas. Treaties. Have treaties for shared. That's actually. So I want to have a bunch of different. I find that diplomacy is one of the biggest weakness in strategy games in this day and age. Does the defender want to fight the war or just give up? Right now, they're gonna always fight. So we'll do that with next round. I think diplomacy should be events. I don't remember what I'm talking about here, and I left no more notes. Let's move this down to here, whatever that is. Changes so they're not army leaders, just aides. We did that. The fuck out of here. Hide the speed in the top bar. I don't really care that much about this, so that'll be a next round thing. Players can move their hero token into other factions as they've been banned, and if they want to move into a county they have been banned from, it offers a declaration. Okay, that's later. The diplomacy panel is here. It's bad. It's bad. Okay, so this is going to be the final thing we'll work on next week because this has to be done. And this is more of a war thing, but we'll do this, then we're back to saving and loading because we just have these three things. But we had to do some diplomacy shit to get the other save things going. Because we need to have, like, we're going to have moving and whatnot. Oh, we also need to test when we lose the battle. This is the this will be the final thing we'll do for this next week, and then we'll go back to fixing the saving loading. I have a feeling saving stuff that's moving is kind of going to be a pain in the ass. Because we have, not only do we have to save it where they are, but we have to also, like, make them start moving again. Change check if player's faction to check against the faction ID. I don't really care about this. We can do that or whatever. We'll just close it the fuck out of there. If we want to do it, we'll do it. And then we need to test that. Yeah, we're actually winding down on everything here for this part, obviously. Yeah. So let's push this to main. Let's close this. Or not, sorry, not push to main, push to GitHub. And 27 changes. And what did we do today? Fixed. Well, what the hell did we do? We actually we closed a bunch of tickets, but they're older. Added some tool tips. Fixed combat. Still need to deal with multiple defenders. Commit and push. We also need to do, it's probably in there. I don't know if I put those if we added any files. Let's make sure though, what about multiple attackers? War, where are you? Damage to county improvements from battle. Scroll wheel on mouse doesn't work on that. Yeah, that sucks. I encountered that already today. Permanent battle logs, the UI element that shows the wars of the battles that the player in. That's a pretty good idea. End of day, healing. Okay. Multiple attackers to the same county. So one of the things I actually like about Hearts of Iron is kind of the slog. I know that sounds crazy, but the slog is something that I kind of really like, is that when you can, like, get stuck in this, like, never-ending combat, like you can have your front just, like, grinding for, you know, months in game, and then suddenly you finally break through and their whole front collapses or whatever, you know. And if you do it right, you can make it so that the slog is just a very slow advance. So I want to have, because remember in this game, most of your guys are going to be untrained soldiers, so they're just going to be like firing from a distance wildly. None of the, you know, well, we're going to have, like, combat personalities for or combat strategies for the leaders, but so I think that, like, war at the beginning would be quite a slog, and it would take a long time of people shooting at each other before the people retreat, and the whole population might retreat too, is another thing. Like, we'll do, like, a check of how loyal they are and whatnot, and they'll, like, retreat to another, because remember, there's only like 10, 15 people in each, right now, even less, in each county, so they could retreat, and as you take over their land, you would have to fight more and more of them. That's the idea, at least. Anyways, we push this. I think we're all set. I will talk to you guys next week, and have a good